Welcome, Capricorn. This is your monthly focus, February 2023, and we're going to dive right into the astrology. When we're done that, we'll turn to the tarot, and then we'll pull an oracle card at the very end for you. So the first big thing that happens in the sky in February is the full moon in Leo at 16 degrees. And collectively, what that means for us all is that it's okay to feel whatever is in your heart. It's absolutely okay to feel it. Now you need to bring it out into the world. Okay? Now for you personally, it would be in your 8th house. Okay? So transformation. But you are really looking at the black and white. Digging to the truth of how to utilize your creativity, of how to stand in your independence, how to bring joy and laughter and giggles into your life. Now, it also could mean that you get some kind of really, really good news around this time, worth celebrating. Okay, this would be a time to look where you've been lacking in, creating a romantic evening, letting in sensuality, romance. I think you'll be weighing things out. You'll be weighing things out on what has been holding you back from allowing you to reconnect with yourself, to let out your self-expression, to feel what's in your heart and really bring it out into the world. And I think it's really through your joy, your creativity, things like that you'll be looking more at than other places. On February 11th, we will have Mercury going into Aquarius. Now, that gives us more rational or logical, diplomatic viewpoint of what's going on and the decisions we need to make, what we're talking about, what we're studying, what we're taking in, and what we are communicating out. Okay, for you, it could have a lot to do with finances. It could have things to do with your material wealth. It could have things to do with... Well, I think it's how you're feeling comfortable. Are your ducks in a row? Do you feel like you've got a good grip on things? And if not, where do you need to? And you may be talking about this. You may be learning about it. You may be taking a course on it. Whatever it may be, but you want to get more of a control in these areas. On February the 18th, the sun will go into Pisces. The moon, 2 days later, will go into Pisces, and at 1 degrees have a new moon in Pisces. And for you, oh my gosh, it's all about your creativity. It's all about activity. It's all about learning experiences. It's all about this young energy, and you want to know things, and you're striving for knowledge. So where do you want to learn? Where do you want to grow? How do you want to take yourself to the next level? These are all things that you need to consider. Meditation, prayer, journaling are all wonderful ways of bringing in this energy and making it stronger. Growing the inner you as much as the outer you is very important. Okay, the more you do on the inner work, the less you have to do on the outer side. Okay, so under this energy. So it's a good time to meditate. It's a good time to go for a walk. It's a good time to connect with yourself, reconnect with yourself perhaps. Get to know yourself a little bit better. Allow some healing in. Okay? On the 20th, when we're having that new moon, we'll also have Venus going into Aries. This gives us all this fresh start in how we look at money, how we look at love, and the self-awareness of ourselves comes into view. Now for you, it has a lot to do with home and family. So does your home reflect who you are internally? Do you feel that you are this beautiful, shining, bright light, but yet everything is full of clutter? Or do you feel you're all messed up inside and everything's perfectly in its place? But does it reflect you? Does it reflect the harmony, the joy that you want to feel when you are in those rooms? Does it reflect in some way. I said this to another sign too. It was kind of like I said, in your craft room, you want the oranges and the yellows and to bring that all to life and get you motivated and wanting to be creative, even if it's a writing room. Okay, it activates you, right? Especially the yellows, but the oranges too. And or is it a soft, quiet room where you have a lavender or a soft pink or a baby blue in place as the main theme of the room? Or, and really look at maybe some feng shui and how to bring that into being in your home, around, your environment. Your environment. Maybe you do need a vase full of flowers on the dining room table in order to just feel like it's complete, like it's whole, like when you walk into the room, you smile. Okay? So it could be redecorating. It could be about the relationships within the family as well. And, reinventing that love, reestablishing that love, that connection, or growing that connection stronger and deeper. It's also about safety and security. So I think you're looking at new ways of feeling safe, of feeling secure, of knowing you've got this. That you are in a control in some viewpoint, in some way. Now, I know that February only has 28 days, so of course it's going to go by a little quicker, but all the planets are also in forward motion. So the time is really, if you're not strategizing and you're not planning what you're going to do each day, the time will get right away from you. You'll look back and you'll go, oh my gosh, where did the month go? I've got all this stuff to do yet. So beware, okay? You've been warned. The only thing actually that is retrograde for the entire month is the North Node, and that's not a star or an asteroid or a planet. That's more of a point within the wheel, the astrology wheel. So for you, you could be, rather than creating new experiences of happiness, and really every reading has been about exploring how to bring more happiness into their lives. But for you, it's more about looking backwards and saying, have I been including happiness, joy, laughter, enjoyment into my daily activities? And you're going to be looking back at, are you enjoying life or are you just existing in life? And what were some of the things that you did try to bring in to create joy and happiness? How did that work out? What was lacking? What was great about it? What would you do differently? What would you keep exactly the same? And I think you're going to be going backwards a little bit and looking at those happy times, those joyful times, those times when you've created wonderment in your life. Or maybe where you've wanted to and, things went all awry. Where you could have included those moments into your life and chose not to at the time. And how do you go forward adding those things to your life? Okay, we'll get to the cards. Okay, our shadow card and what is behind the shadow. See what we got here. Oh, look at that, the Fool. The Fool is your shadow card. My goodness. This is all about preparing ourselves. Now, almost everybody has gotten this message of preparing ourselves. More than moving forward this month, it's more about preparing ourselves for moving forward. Okay, we want to get our ducks in a row. We want to give it thought. We want to give it understanding. We want to bring in the clarity. But here, the undercurrent is you're ready. You're ready to go forward. That there's not much more that you really need to add. In fact, you'll probably let go of more than you're taking with you. Okay, the Fool is starting a new journey. Feeling alive, feeling ambitious, feeling motivated, getting excited, feeling that anticipation of what tomorrow is going to bring. And we don't know what tomorrow is going to bring. So it's the unknown and getting excited about the unknown. Now, what's backing it up? The Four of Pentacles. What are we holding on to that's preventing this? Okay, and we're really going to be looking then throughout the entire month of I want to go forward in this brand new path, in this brand new adventure, in this new relationship, in this new spiritual approach, in this new health and well-being plan I've got for myself, whatever it might be. Okay, I want to go forward. So now what's the wall? What's holding you back? What's not allowing you to go forward in the way that you want, with the freedom, with the feeling of liberation attached to it, feeling alive, feeling the passion, knowing nothing can stop you? What is the block? What is the first block and the next block and the next block? What is keeping you from actually going forward in the way you want to go? Okay, we put up walls all the time. We keep ourselves safe. I mean, that's the number one things, right? To stay alive, to survive. We're wired for that. Okay, so when something happens in our life, we put up these little walls, these little barriers around us to keep us safe. And they're there for a reason, to keep us safe. But what happens is we start building these walls, and some of them protected us for a while, and now they're actually holding us back from the things that we want to go forward in. We don't need that protection anymore. We don't need that thing in our life. We don't need that crutch. We don't need our security blanket. So what do we need to let go of? What wall do we need to tear down in our lives? Our first card is the Four of Swords. So watch your health, okay? Be cautious. Don't take any extra risks. Take your vitamins. Eat your veggies. Get enough sleep. Okay? It is a month it's paramount that you do that. With this card as your first card, it's about taking care of you first and foremost. Okay? Without you feeling healthy, nothing else is going to be able to happen in your life. So take it very seriously, your health this month, of maybe adding something to your lifestyle that gives you more energy or more vitality, but really taking care of yourself in some way. Now, I think that's something that will be happening for you because, I didn't talk about Mars. Mars has been retrograde, and now it is going direct, but it's slow. As the month begins, Mars is moving quite slowly. So is Mercury. But as the month goes, Mars will pick up speed and more speed and more speed. Mars has been in your 6th house for a very long time. Longer than it should be, at least, because of the retrograde. So Mars is our, he's our inner superhero. He's our warrior. We want to face those challenges and we want to get through them. And I think if you've had some health issues and you kind of feel like you've stalled out in some ways, because let's face it, it went retrograde from the end of October right till the middle of January, right? So it's pulled us back. It's delayed results, positive results. Okay. So now that it's going fast forward, so can any kind of treatment you are on, any kind of illness that you are walking through, you're going to start feeling that energy so long as you are putting in the energy to feel good, making it a conscious approach again. So you might have laxed a little bit there on taking care of your health for a bit with Mars being in retrograde. So this is a time to renew yourself too. And this is recharging, recuperating, recharging your batteries. This is about taking care of you. This is essentially the warrior that comes off the battlefield, takes off their armor, hangs up their weapons, and lays down to recuperate, to recharge, to refocus. And the sun comes through that window, shining a light, saying tomorrow is going to be beautiful. The sun will come out tomorrow. So prepare for it. Take this time to relax. So if you're feeling tired, you're feeling worn down, listen to your body, okay? It's talking to you for a reason. We have the Ace of Wands next. It's about bringing in the right amount of balance in our life. So maybe you've been working too hard or playing too hard or not taking care of yourself or whatever it may be. Okay, it's time to rein those things in and get control of them and make it, maybe you haven't been spending time with your partner or your parents or your friends. Or maybe you really haven't been focused at work lately. Maybe you've just been all work, 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 work. And everybody's missing you. And this is about bringing things into balance so that you can walk with a surer step. That you know that everything is good. And that might mean having a discussion with your boss or with your family or with a lover, or explaining that this is why you have the time limitations, or this is why you're putting in the extra time. Or maybe just at home having that conversation. So bringing in the balance and really understanding how to, it's almost like you're trying to bring in something new. And how is that, because that's going to disrupt something, right? You're bringing in something new. Okay, so everything else has to kind of move back. It's going to disrupt things. And so how do you bring it in with a harmony? How do you bring it in with I heard a firmness, a structure. So maybe making the plan, strategy. And then we have the Eight of Pentacles. The Eight of Pentacles is you're raising the bar on yourself here. You are saying, I can do better. And that's not to say that you haven't been doing great, okay? Because you're actually standing here and you're admiring your work. So you have been turning out some great results. And yet, you think you can do better. You're going to raise the bar on yourself. Your confidence level is rising. This is a time to roll up your sleeves and really get to work. Really get creative. Really, feel what's in your heart and bring it out into the world. Okay, work and career. Two of Swords. Oh, there's some kind of decision with work and career. Huh. There's emotion attached to it too. So you might be looking at, do you really love your job? What you do? Does it recognize your talents, your abilities? Can you utilize your skill set to the best of its potential? Are you feeling respected? Are you feeling useful? Are you feeling like somebody can see you, that somebody sees you? Do you need a change of pace? Do you need to add something in? There's a lot of emotion here. So it could be the people as much as what you do. And is it really something that you want to continue? Is it something that you want to transform? Is it something that you want to step away from? Is it something that you want to expand on? Improve in? And no matter how much you seek outside of yourself for advice, your answer is truly within. So it's about going within and reconnecting with yourself. And paying attention to the emotions that arise when you put yourself in different scenarios. Are you happy? Are you relaxed? Are you tense? Are you breathing shallow? And pay attention to what your body is telling you. And that will give you the answers. That will give you the decision you need to make. Now, I don't think we're making many decisions in February. We're more of the think and ponder stage, growing it, understanding, bringing in knowledge. We have the Ten of Pentacles for love, though. Oh, baby. So, that could be something to do with the North Node. Like you are seeing exactly how love should be in your life. That could also be Venus, because that's right next. It'll be right next to Jupiter, for goodness sakes. And they're sharing the house. So the expansion of love, of romance, of relationships, strong relationships, deepened relationships. And I think even Mars has a lot to do with a healthy relationship and working towards a healthy relationship and growing those relationships. So really this card is saying the answer is yes. If you want that scenario within the relationship, if you want to grow it deeper or to the next level or whatever it may be, and this may be a best friend, this may be, a romantic or platonic relationship that you are trying to grow. with your spouse, with your partner. And really how you see it, it can be that way. But there's things that you need to do in order to do that, in order to bring that in order to create that, in order to transform perhaps the relationship. Okay, so it does take a lot of focus. I always say there's 10 pentacles on this card, but you really have to focus to see them all. You may need guidance from another person. You may need counseling. It could be a counseling thing. You may need a spiritual connection and ask for some information to be downloaded to you so you can handle it so that it does turn out the way you want it to be. Maybe practice it. Maybe journal it and write it out a little bit. Get to know your thoughts. Get to know the inner you. Get to know what you truly want within those relationships. And then expect it to be. We have the Hierophant for your spirituality. Now this card, the placement for me, because this is my own homegrown layout. I don't think anybody else does it like this, but I do. And for this one, it's kind of like, okay, so what card is going to tell me how to approach my life spiritually in order to gain the goals, the dreams, the desires, my best life ever at the end of it all? How can I use my spirituality this month to really give me a boost in my direction? And we have the Hierophant here. So definitely prayer. Definitely prayer. Okay? God, your angels, your spirit guides, the universe. The cosmos, the creator. So part of prayer is giving thanks. And another part of prayer is asking for what we desire. So we want to include gratitude and we want to include affirmations throughout the whole month of what we want to bring in and what we are already thankful for having in our life. So for the month of February, definitely, if you don't already do it, start a gratitude journal. If you don't already do it, get some affirmations. I have a new moon after affirmations video up there, and all it is about 8 or 10 minutes straight of different affirmations, and listen to it and write down 4 or 5 that you feel works with you and your desires and your focus and your approach to your life, and start utilizing them and saying them on a regular basis. I think that's the strongest way that you're going to be able to capture that spiritual energy and make it really work for you. And then we have the Three of Wands for health and well-being. You're kind of deciding, you're undecided on what you should really do, perhaps. You're looking at different ways of consistently having a very healthy lifestyle, a balanced approach to your health, to your well-being, to your fitness. And so this card tells me that there's alternative approaches that have to be considered before we can actually determine how we want to approach the rest of our lives. Or maybe it's a short-term thing where you have to change something about your diet or whatever for the next several months or something. Whatever your personal situation is. Maybe you're just feeling okay, healthy, and it's time to understand what we need to bring in order to feel fit and feel alive and make it to our 100th and 20th birthday. It's not about making the decision. It's about weighing out the options, which means doing some research and investigation and maybe talking about it. Communicating about the new approaches to health, fitness, well-being. And trying some things out and seeing if it works in your life and how you'd fit it in and what needs to go because of that. Okay, I've got a new affirmation book or deck here, Nature's Whispers. I do like it. I do love it, actually. I do love it. And, look at the backs of this deck. I'll just hold one card up. The deck's a little on the clumsy side. There we go. Okay, look at that. The butterflies and the yellow and the sun shining through the clouds. You just know this has got to be positive affirmations. So let's see what nature whispers to us for the month of February. Oh my goodness. It's way too many cards. But since it's getting a life of its own, we'll quickly cut. And your card is Clear Endeavor, 39. So that's a 12 energy. So it is about your creativity. It's about bringing in new beginnings. It's about giving birth to something. It's about maybe even getting out in nature. I just love this. There's snowflakes and owls and wolves and bunny rabbits and somebody on a sleigh, a horse sleigh, and they're skating on the creek or the pond. And they're out there. It looks maybe like they're even going caroling. Clear Endeavor. So I'm going to hold that up so that you can look at it and meditate on that card while I read the description of what they believe the intention should be behind this card. Okay, I'll get it so you can see it. Something you truly desire requires a bigger commitment from you. This could be physical, emotional, or mental. Identify what your needs are at this time. Actually commit to this goal and be willing to put it in the time to make it become reality. Commitment plus hard work will assist in bringing your goals to completion. Once you decide, give your best to everything that you do. It gives plenty of new opportunities for you to reach your goals in no time. Pay attention to the signs along the way as nature works to assist you. And until we meet again, remember, I do love you.